and we've all been hearing from our friends, and I know everybody's been hearing from loved ones. Just shock. I got a note this morning from a friend in Mississippi. His pastor wrote the congregation yesterday and said, "As I write these words, the sun is rising on May 25th, 2022. Another day of mourning in America after another mass shooting at another elementary school. As we pray yet again for those whose lives have been torn asunder by a troubled soul wielding a deadly weapon, it seems important and necessary to me to say as a Christian pastor, that we try to find reasonable ways to reduce gun violence, and that is not political, it is moral. The church needs to have a moral compass which can tell the difference between that which is politically partisan and that which is moral. Otherwise, our fear of being political may, at times, make us fall silent concerning matters which we should not be silent. As Martin Luther King Jr. once wisely said, the day we fall silent about the things that matter is the day our life begins to end." And that's Chuck Poole, Baptist preacher from Jackson, Mississippi. And the preacher is right, of course. Standing by and doing nothing after little children are slaughtered in classrooms with weapons of war that are designed to be the most effective means of reducing flesh to a bloody mush, that is not a political failing. That is a moral failing. We need to protect little children in schoolyards from assassination. We need to protect grandmothers shopping for their children and their family in grocery stores from having a bullet tear through their brain. We have an urgent need to protect Christians in their churches, Jews in their synagogues, Muslims in their mosques, and to protect country music fans singing along to their favorite songs from being murdered in a bloody rampage by, again, weapons of war. Saving the lives of these Americans, that's not a political necessity. That is a moral necessity. And doing nothing to stop this carnage is a sin. Let me say it again. Doing nothing to stop this ongoing carnage is a sin. And telling others to shut their mouths while the slaughter continues, to not talk about it. You can't talk about it. Do not talk about it. That would be political. Well, that's evil. And that evil cannot be allowed to prevail in press conferences in Texas, in state houses across the South, and it cannot be allowed to fester any longer in the United States Senate. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. We've heard that our whole lives. Well, it's time for senators to do something, to pass universal background checks, to take at least a small step, just the first step in a 1,000-mile journey, to start, to begin stopping the slaughter of babies and putting the protection of life over the twisted, fevered dreams of a paranoid minority that is dominating our political process, dominating our schools, dominating our churches, dominating our grocery stores, dominating our lives. It's time once again to make sure that our kids can walk into their classrooms to learn.